All right, let's dive in. For what feels like forever, the data world has been kind of stuck in this endless debate about the right way to build a data warehouse. But what if that whole debate was just, well, wrong from the start? Today, we're going to look at a modern, pragmatic solution that really does promise the best of both worlds. This one. The classic debate, right? On one side, you've got Data Vault, the one everyone loves for its flexibility. And on the other, you have dimensional modeling, the speed demon. And for so long, data teams have felt like they had to choose a side, basically picking a philosophy and defending it to the death. But here's the thing. This whole versus mindset, it's been holding us all back. It forces these really painful compromises. You end up with something that's either lightning fast but shatters if you look at it wrong, or it's super flexible but painfully slow to query. The reality is, we've been asking the wrong question. So to really get to the right answer, we've got to understand the question properly. And at the core of every data platform, there's this fundamental tension. It's this constant balancing act between two forces that are pushing in opposite directions, but are both absolutely critical. Okay, so on one side, you've got flexibility. This is the world data engineers live in, right? They're trying to keep up with source systems that change all the time without the whole platform falling over. And on the other side, performance. This is what the business wants. They need their dashboards to load like yesterday. These two things don't naturally play well together. In this table, well, it lays it all out. It shows exactly how each of these models basically picks a team. Dimensional modeling is all about reading. It gives you blazing fast analytics, but man, is it brittle. Touch one thing and you could be looking at a massive rewrite. Data Vault, on the other hand, is built for writing. It handles change like a champ, but that comes at the cost of query performance. So what do? How do we escape this trade-off? Well, we do it by completely changing how we look at the problem. Instead of forcing a single model to do everything, we use a framework. And that framework is the Medallion Architecture. See, this isn't about picking a winner. It's about creating a system where different models can do what they do best, in the right place. So, think of it like this. The architecture channels your data through 3 distinct stages, or layers. First up is bronze. This is where your raw data lands, completely untouched, a perfect raw copy. From there, it gets promoted to silver. Here's where we integrate it, we track its history, we start cleaning it up. And finally, it makes it to the gold layer, all polished up and totally ready for your analysts. And boom, this is the big idea. This is the whole point. We stop trying to answer which one is better, and instead we ask, where does each one fit? And the answer is just so beautifully simple and pragmatic. We use Data Vault in the silver layer, where we need its flexibility and auditability, and we use dimensional modeling in the gold layer, where we need its raw performance and usability. Okay, so why is this combo so powerful? Let's break down exactly why each model is the absolute perfect tool for its designated layer. All right, let's talk silver layer. Data Vault is just a perfect match for what we need here. You need to add a new data source? No problem. Its schema is flexible, so you're not going to break all your existing pipelines. That's huge. Plus, you can ingest data from different places all at the same time, which makes things way faster and more resilient. And this is a big one. It's got this built-in audit trail. Every single record is time-stamped. For any kind of compliance, that's an absolute game changer. Now, let's move on to the gold layer. And here, dimensional modeling is without a doubt the king. Why? Simple. It's designed to think the way your business users think. That classic star schema, it's super intuitive. Slicing, dicing, drilling down, it's exactly what they need. It delivers unmatched speed on modern data warehouses. And maybe, most importantly, all those BI tools your company loves, Tableau, Power BI, you name it, they're literally built to work with star schemas. It just works. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great on a slide, right? Super elegant, but let's get real. Actually doing this takes serious engineering discipline. This is not some magic bullet, It's a strategic architectural choice that comes with its own set of challenges. And I want to be crystal clear about this. The single most difficult piece of this whole puzzle, it's that bridge, that transformation logic that gets you from the silver data vault to the gold dimensional models. This is where the rubber meets the road, and your success or failure really depends on getting a few tricky things right. So what are we actually talking about here? What's the hard part? Well, for starters, you have to build these things called point-in-time, or pit tables. They make querying history way, way easier. Next, you've got to manage all the surrogate keys, those unique IDs that link everything together between the models. It's tedious, but crucial. Then there's the classic problem of slowly changing dimensions. Think about when a customer moves. You have to track that change, and it can get complex. And last but not least, you have to engineer your pipelines to load incrementally. You absolutely cannot afford to rebuild the whole thing every single night, not at scale. So, with all that in mind, who is this actually for? When does this architecture really shine? Well, it's a huge win for big companies that are constantly changing. Think mergers, acquisitions, entering new markets. It's also perfect when you're juggling tons of different complex source systems. And of course, for any industry where audit trails are non-negotiable, like finance or healthcare. But here's the catch. You need a pretty mature data team with solid engineering practices to make it happen. And just as important is knowing when not to use it. This isn't for everyone. If you're a startup, just a few engineers, the overhead is probably going to crush you. If you've only got a couple of simple, stable data sources, you just don't need all this complexity. And hey, if the only thing that matters is getting that first report out the door by tomorrow, this is definitely not the quickest path. And that really brings us back to the main point captured perfectly in this quote. The old debate was just asking the wrong question. It was looking for one model to rule them all. But the truth is, there is no single winner. It's all about using the right tool for the right job at the right time. Your silver layer needs to be flexible, so you use Data Vault. Your gold layer needs to be fast, so you use dimensional modeling. It's really that simple and that powerful. So I want to leave you with one final question to think about. Take a hard look at your own data platform. Is it forcing you into that false choice? Is it making you pick between resilience and performance? Because what we've seen today is that with the right architecture, you don't have to choose. You really can have the best of both worlds.